Watching the Dark Knight trilogy is the equivalent of reading 1,000 self-help books.
That's stop you. I've had training. The training is nothing. The will is everything.
Since Castillo started, victory has defeated you.
The Dark Knight films are not only a form of entertainment, they are about changing the way you look at life. Batman Begins taught me that I should face my fears and turn them into my greatest assets.
Breathe. Breathe in your fears. Face them. To conquer fear, you must become fear.
The Dark Knight taught me that I need to believe in people regardless of what they have done in the past. Finally, The Dark Knight Rises taught me that a failure is nothing but a stepping stone to get to my destiny. The Dark Knight trilogy taught me that I should sacrifice everything for the greater good. It showed me that I need to face my fears and turn them into my greatest assets. It taught me that it's not about how hard I get hit, it's about how hard I can get hit and I keep moving forward. How much I can take and keep moving forward in life. If you want to have a complete paradigm shift on how you view life, then watch the Dark Knight trilogy. That's why I can say with an absolute certainty that watching the Dark Knight trilogy is the equivalent of reading 1,000 self-help books. Now, sit down and relax. We will discuss the unmatchable, powerful force of superheroes in our culture. What makes Batman special among all other superheroes. Then, we will explain the power of symbolism in Batman. So sit down, relax, and enjoy the video. Did you know? Batman alone has made more than 28 billion in revenue since it was created in 1939. To put this number into perspective, Airbnb is worth about $30 billion. Snapchat is worth about $22 billion. Dropbox is worth $10 billion. And finally, Pinterest is worth around $10 billion. This number is not surprising as we all know that Batman is one of the most popular superheroes of all time. Batman comics are the second best-selling superhero comics of all time behind only Superman. Batman films have made more than $6 billion combined. The movie The Joker that came out last year made about $1 billion in revenue, making the movie the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. But why do people love Batman so much?
But you can call me
The Riddler.
I think it is because he is an inspiring figure to millions of people all across the planet. He fights crimes and stops bad guys. He fails and he gets up again. He is very relatable to the average viewer. His story is the story of everyone else. It is the story of facing our fears and doing the best possible to make a difference in other people's lives. His only superpower is his wealth, intelligence, and his dedication to fight crimes for what he believes in.
I'm sorry, Harvey.
I had a little breakfast. Very well then.
Alfred.
Yes, Bruce Wayne.
Did I bring this on her? I was meant to inspire good, not madness, not death.
You have inspired good, but you spat in the faces
of Gotham's criminals. Didn't you think there might be some casualties? Things were always going to get worse before they got better.
But Rachel, Alfred.
Rachel believed in what you stood for. What we stand for. Gotham needs you.
No, Gotham needs its true hero. And I let that murdering psychopath blow him half to hell.
Which is why, for now,
Batman was created in 1939. That is more than 80 years ago, by the way. We saw different versions of the Caped Crusader between films, comics, and video games. The best version of Batman came from Christopher Nolan's trilogy. Nolan's trilogy represented him as a true teacher of life. If you are looking for lessons about overcoming adversity, discovering your purpose in life, and devoting your life to an ideal, then you will find all of that and more in the Dark Knight trilogy. Nolan created a trilogy where he showed us what it means to overcome fears and be a better version of ourselves. This is the true beauty of the Dark Knight trilogy. Before going any further with this video, I'd like to share with you a tragic story. A tragic story of the real hero behind this superhero. The hero who created this superhero is none other than Bill Finger, not Bob Kane. I know that it says in every Batman films, video games, comics that Bob Kane created Batman, but that is far from true. Here's the background story. Bob Kane originally approached Bill Finger with a garbage concept of his version of Batman that looks like this. But Bill Finger is the one who made Batman the likable character that we know and adore today. When Bob Kane originally approached Bill Finger with the Batman concept, it was Bill Finger who suggested making changes in the Batman's design. He suggested giving him a darker tone and making him look more like, an actual bat. Not only that, but Bill Finger is the one who created the overall universe of Batman. Here are some of the concepts that he created: the Batcave, the Batmobile, and most of Batman's villains like the Joker, Two-Face, and so on. In short, Bill Finger is the real creator of Batman. Bob Kane, on the other hand, took credits for other people's work. He hired ghostwriters to build Batman's universe, and his job was only to approve or disapprove of new concepts. And Bill Finger was the one who built the earliest concepts of Batman. In short, without Bill Finger, we would never have seen Batman the way we see it today. This is very important to know because Bill Finger died alone in poverty while Bob Kane was the one who made millions of dollars. Now that I have gotten this out of my chest, let's move to the next part. Society is founded on hero worship, wrote Thomas, a Scottish philosopher and famous for his hero worship theory back in the 19th century. I do believe his quote explains why the human race is so attracted to mythical creatures. All over the planet, from west to east, people looked up into mythical heroes. In Japan, for example, where comics books known as manga are sold there more than any other place on earth, the best-selling mangas of all time features heroes with incredible superpowers. Powerful creatures who are driven by good goals to serve humanity. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Z, which is the second best-selling manga of all time. The protagonist, his name is Goku, who wants to be the most powerful human that ever existed. He is driven by justice to help other people who need his help. Luffy, who is a pirate by the way, but the good kind of pirate, he has shown again and again that he is willing to sacrifice his life to save his friends and for the greater good. The West is not that different. Superheroes with special powers who sacrifice their lives for the greater good are very popular among people of all ages. If you look at the highest grossing films of all time, superheroes films will top the list. 5 out of 10 films from the past decade are superheroes genre, with Avengers Endgame being the highest grossing film of all time. Wherever you travel in the world, it is always clear that people value good-hearted, fictional figures who have the desires to save the world. Why is that, you ask? It is because we need to look up an inspiring figure. Yes, we like superheroes for their unique, different abilities, but we like them even more for who they inspire us to become.
I mean, why are you here? There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes, I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
At a personal level, I can say that I do love amazing creatures for their special powers. I mean, who wouldn't want to climb high buildings like the Spider-Man, or fly the space like Superman, or go faster than the speed of light like the Flash? But a unique superpower is not only the reason that makes the Flash, Superman, Spider-Man very popular. The real reason, the actual reason is why we love superheroes is because they inspire us to become better people and fight for the greater good.
Because it's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
I have learned from Spider-Man that with great power comes great responsibility.
Peter, these are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
I have learned from Superman that even if you are the most powerful person in the history of mankind, you always need someone else for help, and you are never alone. I have learned from the Hulk that I should take my flaws and turn them into something very positive, like taking his anger issues and using it for the greater good. Finally, I have learned from the Wonder Woman that it's not about what they deserve, but about what you believe.
My mother was right. She said the world of men do not deserve you. They don't deserve our help, Steve.
It's not about deserve. It's not. Maybe we don't. But it's not about that. It's about what you believe.
These are only 6 lessons that I came up to my mind at this moment, but I'm sure you have your own lessons that you have learned from other great superheroes. But the core single lesson that I have learned from all these superheroes is to remain true to who you really are at the core of yourself. If you are a fan of superheroes, I want you to pause for a minute or two and think of what is the single greatest lesson that you have learned from your favorite superhero. I would like to know about it. Comment below and let me know.
How is he dark?
He's dark in that he's driven by very negative emotions. You know, his cause comes from a promise he makes to his parents after their murder, to rid the city of the evil that took their lives, and a great sense of guilt that he was in some way responsible for their deaths, because it was his inability to control his own fears, which were bats, and which he was seeing in this opera that they went to see, and he had to leave because he was too scared, and consequently his parents were murdered in the alleyway by the site. So there's a great sense of if he had been able to control his fear, that never would have happened.
So he's obsessed and
He's obsessed. He has a great deal of burden on him, a great burden of guilt, and a great thirst for revenge as well. You know, I see him as being a very dark and as the Batman, and I kind of like calling him a creature, that he's virtually demonic, you know, in his rage, but with the great philanthropy of his father, you know, talking in his ear all the time, reining him in and stopping him from going too far and becoming a force of great destruction, which he's capable of.
There are countless of hundreds, if not thousands, of other superheroes within the DC universe and Marvel universe. All of DC's and Marvel's popular superheroes do have superpowers, but Batman, he is ordinary. yet he is among the most popular superheroes of all time. To understand why he is immensely popular, let's see what the legendary screenwriter John Truby says about creating a memorable protagonist.
What makes an audience care about a character really comes down to only two things: the weakness, the fundamental weakness of that character, and the character's goal in the story. Weakness, need of the character. In other words, what is that personal problem inside that is hurting the hero in such a fundamental way that it's ruining their life? It's very deep. And the entire story is going to play out the solving of that problem. The way they're going to solve that problem is by going after a particular goal. They don't know at the beginning that by going after this goal, they will eventually deal with their great internal weakness. But if it's a good story, that's exactly how it will work.
Let's examine what John said again. The audience, that's you, me, and everyone who loves Batman, cares about the character for his or her fundamental weakness. One thing that is common among many popular Hollywood fictional teachers is that they have so many flaws. They're not perfect. As powerful as Superman, he is actually weak from the inside because he has a problem trying to fit into society since he's alien. Spider-Man also, he has some emotional issues to really take control of his emotions and making the best decisions based on what is rational instead of focusing on his emotion.
Relax! Don't tell me to relax, Happy! How can I relax when I messed up so bad?
But Batman, he has two weaknesses which makes him even more attractive: psychological and physical. He's weak physically because he has no special power like Superman or Spider-Man or the Flash. When he fights criminals, you're not sure if he's gonna win or lose, unlike the case of Superman or Spider-Man. His other weakness is that he was traumatized as a child. At the age of 9 or 10, depending on which version of Batman you are watching, he lost his parents right in front of his own eyes. That makes it easier for the audience to care about him. Batman is likable because many people share the same struggles as he does. Batman's story is everyone else's story. Life is not perfect. It's simply unfair. If we face our struggles, we can grow and become more powerful as humans. For many people, it's very easy to decide that life is very hard and just give up. But when we see the story of Bruce Wayne, Batman, we see what is possible for our lives, what is possible for us, what have we been missing in life. We see the potential that lies in all of us. We see him suffering as a kid due to the loss of his parents right in front of his eyes. We see how life is very unfair to him. We also see him overcoming his struggles, taking that pain and suffering and making something good coming out of it. Yes, he is a normal person with many flaws, but he works tirelessly to improve on his flaws and becoming a hero in the process. He sacrifices everything for others, and that is what makes him so unique. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please, I know you're sick and tired of hearing other YouTubers saying this, but please, it helps me a lot when you subscribe, when you like this video. It means a lot to me. Story, there's so much I want to talk about. I just couldn't fit it in one small video, so subscribe and look forward to more. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.